pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Booker, guard, Alabama.
It was thought to be wide receiver, running back, edge rusher, linebacker, corner, but instead the Cowboys go offensive lineman in the first round for the third time in the last 4 years. They select All-American guard Tyler Booker out of Alabama with the 12th overall selection. As we welcome you in to Draft Day Insider Day 2 edition as we wrap up what happened in night number 1 and take a look ahead at the 44th and 76th pick in the NFL Draft in the second and third round. Tyler Booker was the selection, 6'4", 320 pounds out of Alabama. Brian Schottenheimer's first ever draft selection as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's what he said stood out about Tyler Booker.
Yeah, I think when you looked at it, we were, number one, thrilled about the young man, the power, the strength. When you sit down and you visit with this guy, he's an alpha. He knows what he wants. He knows how good he is. He knows how talented he is. And I think you look at what you got with Tyler Smith at left guard, Cooper Beebe, and now you add this guy. The interior of your pocket, the core of your run game, all that stuff inside. We want to move people, and we want to own the line of scrimmage, and this is the guy that gives us a chance to do that with the pieces we have in place.
And as the first selection, Tyler Booker will forever be tied with Brian Schottenheimer in this Cowboys head coaching role. Here's what the other head coaches in franchise history have taken with their first overall selection. Some really good names atop of this list alongside Mickey Spagnola and Tommy Yarish of DallasCowboys.com. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Mickey, I'll start with you. The Cowboys decide to shore up that offensive line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we should have kind of figured this out. If you look at Brian Schottenheimer's history as a coach, as an offensive coordinator, it was always kind of running the football. And if you're going to run the football, you better have an offensive line to be able to do it. He hires an offensive coordinator that's an offensive line coach. He hired a college offensive coordinator who's an offensive line coach. So why didn't we just think they were going to take an offensive lineman?
Right. I think, it's certainly, when you look at that aspect of it, it makes a lot of sense. And when you look at the division around Dallas, too, in terms of the bodies that some of these NFC East teams have on the interior of the defensive line, Dexter Lawrence in New York with the Giants, Jalen Carter in Philadelphia with the Eagles. It's very important to make sure that your interior of the offensive line is shored up, and the Cowboys have that now with Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, and Tyler Booker.
And that's the thing that really stood out in that press conference following the first round of the NFL Draft. The entire front office pretty adamant that he is going to play the right guard spot. Now, as you could see from some of the film, Tyler Booker played left guard. No chance this moves things around. This is pretty much the Zack Martin replacement at right guard, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And when Booker was asked about it, can you play left? Can you play right? Now, it's like, just put me on the field. If they want me to play defensive end, I'll play defensive end. If they want me to play linebacker, I'll play linebacker. Put me on the field, and you got to love that about a guy like that.
And Brian Schottenheimer reiterated last night that he's going to go with his best 5 offensive linemen immediately. Tyler Booker is one of the best 5 as soon as he walks into this room. Zack Martin's shoes are big ones to fill, and he knows that he's not going to be Zack Martin. He said yesterday that I'm just going to be Tyler Booker, and Tyler Booker worked out pretty good at Alabama.
What did you think about the reaction? Because there was a huge reaction out of the war room. There's a lot of excitement in the building. It wasn't one of the popular names. It could have been a wide receiver. It could have been a running back. It could have been a number of different positions that would have had the fan base excited. But this is a pick that in the building feels like a home run to them.
It was the plan. It's like they went through and rehearsed what might happen in the first round. And if maybe Ted McMillan had fallen to him, they would have changed gears. But once he was gone, then it was between him and the defensive tackle from Ole Miss, Nolan. So they decided we've got to fix this offensive line. I thought Jerry said a really prophetic thing, qualifying the pick of an offensive lineman. He said, I've got the highest paid player in the National Football League. I better protect him.
Yeah, and when you think about the Cowboys building around Dak Prescott and giving him weapons to utilize on the field, I think we came into this draft process thinking, okay, wide receiver, running back, those are the easy picks there, right? Well, how about helping him out in a way of just simply keeping him on his feet, keeping him from getting hit, allowing him to use one of his best tools, which is mobility, giving him that time in the pocket so that he can operate and throw the ball downfield. I think that Tyler Booker on the interior to stop that interior pass rush is going to be crucial. Now, you just need to see your tackles take the next step, especially Tyler Guyton on Dak's backside.
So now we understand what Dak friendly is.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Trying to protect your $40, $60 million quarterback now behind the line of scrimmage for this Dallas Cowboys team. Now the X's and O's pays off. The character pays off as well. They are excited about Tyler Booker. When we come back, we're going to go behind the scenes. We're going to hear about the process that it took to get Tyler Booker, and we'll hear the secret audio of the moment he was selected to be a Dallas Cowboy.
The Dallas Cowboys Draft Day Insider is brought to you by United Ag and Turf, your first-round draft pick for John Deere equipment. And by Dr. Pepper. Raise your Dr. Pepper glass to America's team. It's a Pepper thing. This segment is brought to you by United Ag and Turf, your first-round draft pick for John Deere equipment.
I'm going to come in, I'm going to be passionate about what I do and the people that I'm around every day. I'm going to make sure that I'll come in with a contagious energy. I'm going to come in with Super Bowls on my mind, and everything in my being will be towards winning one.
Tyler Booker already focused on the task at hand, being a part of this Dallas Cowboys offensive line, as we welcome you back in to Draft Day Insider Day 2 edition. Before we move on to the second and third rounds of the 2025 NFL Draft, there's a lot of planning that goes into night one of the NFL Draft, and the Cowboys have certainly had their eyes on Tyler Booker all the way through this draft process, including in their internal meetings.
First one up is Tyler Booker from Alabama, number 52.
Going there the last couple of years, like Will Anderson is like the best leader they've ever had, and this year they say Tyler Booker is even better because he's got more edge, he's got more alpha to him. Unanimous captain. But this is a win for you caliber player, probably one of the safest players in my area. Like wherever you take him, you're getting a really, really good player.
He gets the second level defenders. He's not going there to cover you up. He's going up there to mess you up. And rolls off the ball with great surge physicality. This kid's got great personality, great football intelligence just from the visits that we had. I absolutely love this kid.
And I think that he's a day one starter, plug and play.
I think the intriguing thing about this kid too is it's not often that the level of ability player is met with that level of character and leadership. And when you get both of those, it can get.
That's where it's at. But this kid is a hell of a player. This kid's a hell of a player.
Character, leadership, film, it all checked the boxes for Tyler Booker on the offensive line, and it all worked out for the Cowboys to get a first-round graded player on their board, says Jerry Jones in the front office in that post-first-round matchup and press conference upstairs. Now, here's the thing about the Cowboys. They were really excited in the war room when Tyler Booker was the selection, but I don't know if they were as excited as Tyler Booker was.
Hello?
Mr. Booker?
Yes, sir.
Got somebody who wants to talk to you. Hold on.
Who is it?
Hey, this is Jerry Jones with the Cowboys. We're turning you in.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, boy. We're glad to have you as a Cowboy.
I'm glad to be a Cowboy. I'm glad to keep this whole line tradition. Thank you.
Okay, well, man, but here's your
Will
coach.
do.
Here's your head coach.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tyler, Coach Shotty, man.
What's going on, Coach?
Hey, man. Hey, listen, you blew us away in the process, brother. Here's what we need. You just come here, be you. You kick ass. Welcome to the family. We are so excited. We just want that same dude every day.
Yes, sir. You're going to get as long as we can listen to that Whitney Houston you was listening to that day.
Yeah, hey, ain't no doubt about that, man. Hey, I want you to talk to our offensive coordinator.
Yes, sir.
So fired up. You're a Cowboy, baby.
Yes, sir.
Book, what's up, man?
What's going on?
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
I am so freaking fired up that you're coming, man. How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys?
Let's go. Let's move the freaking line of scrimmage now, huh?
Let's do it.
I'm an old offensive lineman, believe it or not.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
They always are the best looking. They're the smartest, and they own the damn team. So that's an offensive
Oh, definitely. Thank you so much. Okay. I can't wait to get there and get to work.
All right, sir.
The Dallas Cowboys got their guy in night one of the 2025 NFL Draft. There's plenty more to come this weekend, however, and there's some good names still left on that draft board, including Missouri's Luther Burden. Could he be the next wide receiver to make a name for himself in Dallas? He's a one possibility at a skill spot. What about Travion Henderson out of Ohio State? Could he be an opportunity of running back in the second round? We'll talk second round names next.
This segment was brought to you by United Ag and Turf, your first round draft pick for John Deere equipment.
The Cowboys go offensive line in the first round of the NFL Draft. So where do they go from here? Well, there's running backs available. There are some wide receivers available. Let's start on the ground where the Cowboys want to run behind Tyler Booker after this year's NFL Draft. Here are the top 5 running backs on my board remaining. You see a couple of Ohio State guys. We'll talk about them momentarily. Caleb Johnson, a really talented runner out of Iowa, big physical back. And then you've got some finesse guys like Dylan Sampson and Devin Neal out of Kansas as well. Let's start with Travion Henderson. He's the most popular name remaining in this running back class that is very deep. Tommy Yarish, what do you think about Henderson and what he could bring to the table?
Henderson's a home run hitter, and he's the one out of the 2 Ohio State guys that when he gets in open space can make so much happen because of his speed. This is a guy that the Cowboys, if they're looking for that guy who can get those 60, 70-yard long runs and get into the end zone, this is your guy. Get him to the outside, get him in space, and let him use his legs. He's your guy.
You know, and one of the things the Cowboys have been talking about in this draft is finding guys with character. I heard an interview with him, and I was really impressed because Quinshon Judkins transferred.
Yeah.
And he stayed, right? Henderson could have left, but he stayed, and he said, I'm not afraid of competition. He's going to have to compete with me, and we'll have a two-headed attack. And I kind of like that, even though when I see Quinshon Judkins, I like what I see in him. He might be my favorite.
Well, let's talk about him a little bit. Quinshon Judkins is one of those other Ohio State running backs that was a running mate with Travion Henderson, and Dallas really likes what they could bring to the table with Judkins in Dallas.
At my size, doing what I do, my speed, my power, my vision, you don't find that in backs. That's what's special about me. And my ability to catch the ball from anywhere, to have home run ability and do it all. You don't really see that. Certain guys have certain things to offer, but you don't see that from a player of my caliber and my size.
That size, speed combo from Quinshon Judkins certainly has caught the Dallas Cowboys' eye. If Travion Henderson's not there at 44 and Judkins is, he could fit as the pick. Mickey, why is he one of your favorites?
Just because of the size and the speed. I love the speed on this guy, and I think that's something the Cowboys need to add to this offense. I have no problems with Judkins.
No, you shouldn't have any problems with Judkins. I think you look at Tyler Booker, and he's the guy who's the bully, who's physical up front. Quinshon Judkins is that of the 2 Ohio State running backs. Henderson gives you more of that speed aspect, that get out in space and hit the home run. Judkins might not be able to hit as many home runs, but he is going to make defensive linemen and linebackers want to quit after a while. He's going to hit them hard. He's great in between the tackles, which will be great for Dallas with how they've constructed their interior of the offensive line. He's exactly what Dallas would be looking for at a pick like 44.
And those running backs that are available there are going to be a conversation at 44 because you didn't address the skills positions early. Now, what about wide receiver? Going into day number 2, there are some really big-name wide receivers still available. Luther Burden out of Missouri, Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. You've got Jaden Higgins there out of Iowa State as well. Which one of these names, let's talk about Luther Burden first, but where do you feel like Luther Burden could fall in this second round?
It should be pretty early. I think Luther Burden was a guy who a lot of people expected to maybe go into the late first because of how talented he has been over the course of his 3 years at Missouri, ends up dropping out. So that's certainly an interesting one. I don't think he's going to have to wait much longer to hear his name called. This guy is incredible after the catch. He's got great athleticism, and when he gets into space, he can make guys pay.
And let me tell you, I've watched this guy play every game for 3 years. And I loved what his head coach Drinkowitz said when they asked him about Luther Burden. He said he will be the best guy in the draft that runs with the football, and he is Deebo Samuel, I guarantee you. He's tough to cover, and don't think he's just a slot guy because of his numbers. This guy can play inside, outside, run sweeps, and the fact that his numbers went down his senior year is because he played without his starting quarterback for 4 games, and 2 others, the quarterback didn't play complete games. So with Brady Cook, as they played and when he was a junior, this guy is a star, and somebody's going to be sorry they passed on him.
Hey, that's anything short of an M-I-Z. You got to give me the Z-O-U
I'll give
there,
you a
Mickey
Z-O-U,
Spagnola.
yes.
No, he's an exciting prospect. I'd be surprised if he falls to 44. I'm a little surprised he fell out of the first round specifically. Tommy, really quickly here, which type of wide receiver could Dallas be looking at here in day 2?
Yeah, I think you're looking for the big body outside target that you can throw the ball up to and be a 50-50 guy for. You look at guys like Trey Harris, Savion Williams, Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. All guys that kind of fit that mold to complement CeeDee Lamb on the outside so that he can play where he's played at his best in the slot.
And that's exactly what the Cowboys would be looking for, to pair with CeeDee Lamb on this offense. What can they do on the defensive side of the football? Could a big defensive tackle be in store? Day 2 of the NFL draft is here. Could they find themselves a one technique to put on that defense? Welcome back into Draft Day Insider Day number 2 alongside Mickey Spagnola and Tommy Yarish. I'm Kyle Yeomans. The Cowboys go offensive line in round 1. Could they shift their focus to the defensive side of the football, starting at defensive tackle? Here are my top 5 remaining names. TJ Sanders at the top, South Carolina product who had a ton of production in the SEC last year. A couple other SEC names like Alfred Collins, Deontay Walker. You've got Omar Norman Lott out of Tennessee. And then I really like Toledo's Darius Alexander as a possible pick for the Cowboys in the 2nd or 3rd round. But they do have to be rumored around Alfred Collins, another Lone Star State product. Here's why he thinks Dallas should draft him.
They should draft me because, for one, I don't just play one position. I can play anything at a high level. I'm big, athletic. I love to learn, love to not settle, love to better my better.
Tommy, I know you've had a close relationship with Collins in the past. What makes him the best fit, and where could Dallas go in terms of this defensive tackle position?
Yeah, I covered Collins for 2 years at Texas, and the thing with Alfred Collins was always waiting for him to make that next step. In his last year, he made his biggest step by far for Texas on the interior of the defensive line at that one-tech spot. This is a guy who specializes at stopping the run, but he still has some more room for growth. I think if you get him in this defensive line room, let Aaron Whitecotton do what he's done in the past with guys at that position, this is a guy who could turn out really well for Dallas.
So the thing that concerned me about him is when Tommy and I went to the UT Pro Day, he was in a boot.
Yeah.
And there is some concern about the calf strain that he does have. And with calf strains, as we know, especially in baseball, right, they can linger and they can come back. So I think they're going to have to factor that into his evaluation, at least for right now.
And that might mean he's a 3rd-round prospect as opposed to a 2nd-round prospect. You mentioned some injury concerns and possible red flags there. Here are some corners that could possibly be on that list as well. Will Johnson with some injury concern, Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame, Siobhan Revell out of East Carolina, all in that same category. Mickey, which name stands out to you?
Siobhan Revell. And because this guy has got talent, you look at his film, he can cover. Now, the problem is he tore his ACL in the 3rd game of the season. He also had to have a meniscus repair. Now, the good thing for the Cowboys, they know all about him. Dr. Dan Cooper, the Cowboys orthopedic surgeon, did the surgery, so they know where he's at. Probably wouldn't be ready to start training camp. Probably would have to be put on PUP. But this guy is a 1st-round talent, if not for the knee injury.
Yeah, he would have probably been the first corner off the board, not named Travis Hunter, if he stayed healthy at East Carolina his last season. He's a high upside player. Watch out for Will Johnson from Michigan here. This is a guy who fits the prototype of exactly what the Cowboys are looking for. A tall, lengthy corner who does really well in zone.
And both of those guys could be on the board at 44. Both could be gone by the time the Cowboys are on the clock at 44. But here's the question. What need do they have to come away with on day 2? When we come back, we go inside the war room. What could the Cowboys be doing in there as they prepare for night 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft.
The Dallas Cowboys Draft Day Insider was brought to you by United Ag and Turf, your first-round draft pick for John Deere equipment. And by Dr. Pepper. Raise your Dr. Pepper glass to America's team. It's a pepper thing.
We are counting down the moments until night 2 of the NFL Draft with Mickey Spagnola and Tommy Yarish. I'm Kyle Yeomans wrapping up Draft Day Insider. All right, the Cowboys have 44 and 76. Just 2 picks on day 2. What do they have to come away with?
Yeah, it's hard to narrow it down with so many needs for this team. I look at corner and wide receiver as your 2 needs. You need a body in there with Trayvon Diggs' health still in the air, and CeeDee Lamb needs a second wide receiver to help him out and take some of the load off his shoulders.
I would like a running back and a defensive end if it's available. I need a cornerback too. So I still have some needs that I really would like to take care of, but I only get 2, right?
Yeah, you only get
it's
2.
going to be tough. And without a 4th-round pick at this point, going into day 3, getting into the 5th, that gets dicey.
Yeah, I think you need at least 1 offensive player, 1 defensive player to try and shore things up. Either a running back or a wide receiver or a cornerback or a defensive lineman. One way or the other, it's going to be interesting. Fireworks going to fly on day 2 of the NFL Draft. We'll see you tomorrow with more of Draft Day Insider.